Hello there and welcome back to my boat shed. My name is Panu and I am building this 15-meter or 50-foot liveaboard cruising sailboat here in very winterish Finland. In previous video we got these mast step bolts drilled through and hopefully in this video we're gonna get them glued in. But also we're gonna do something else because these videos are actually now kind of video blogs for every 2 weeks. So whatever I'm doing here, I will explain it and show it to you. And these videos will be like this for the foreseen future, just because I'm kind of lacking time to really edit them fancy, but I'm hoping you are enjoying the process and following this journey. And if you're new to the channel, you're welcome to support the project by clicking the subscribe button and giving me likes and putting comments down below, and also going into the Patreon page and start to becoming by Patreon. Let's now jump into making something, and I have one thing prepared over there, so let's go and take a look at that. So this thing behind me here is my CNC machine. It is self-built and designed, of course, and I've been using it to make all the parts for the boat. So most of the things you see behind there are made in some way with this CNC, and that has been absolutely phenomenal. And really, I'm not sure if I have ever been able to do any of this without the CNC, because the amount of work for measuring, drawing all this in full size would have been mind-blowingly hard task, and so much time would have gone into just making these parts. So this is the essential part of the project, and it actually has been several months since I last used it. You may recognize this thing we have over there. I cut it a few months back when I was installing the frame 3 and measuring the placement for that. That was the template piece for that. But it happens that I now need the rest of that plywood, so it will stay put in there and we will cut the rest of the pieces out from there. It's quite interesting what I'm cutting, because I am gonna cut template pieces for the ballast keel timbers. You might see there is this one piece of oak. There's more of the oak right here, kind of lying there. And what I'm gonna do now is to cut a template piece of the shape of that ballast keel timber with the keel bolt holes in it. And also I'm gonna cut shape of the keels themselves. Well, I just need them a little bit later, but I want to have them ready, so I'm gonna cut those as well. So we're gonna see the foil shape of the keels, which is kind of exciting. So yeah, now I just put the machine on, cut the pieces, and we'll see what happens. Here it is, after all, the template for the ballast keels. And let's see here. This is the template for the ballast keel timber. So this size of a piece of wood should go into that slot. And the thickness is about this, whatever it is, right here, 5 centimeters or something like that. So that sort of piece we should do. And why I did a template for that is that there is now these holes as well. So these are, of course, the keel bolt holes, and those should be pretty much accurate positions in the boat. So that's why I did the template, so I can mark those bolts, maybe even drill them into that keel timber when I'm gonna do that. And here is the template for the actual ballast keel. So as you can see, this is asymmetric foil, and this is I think it's no, this way. Have to double check which way they go. But anyway, this is the foil shape, and I'm not sure if I'm going to need this after all, but I just want to have the shape so that I can do some mock-ups when I'm doing the placements for the actual keels there. Because of course, when we mount the keels, we have to have some kind of platform where to put steel shape like that eventually on its place. So that's why it's over there, and you can see the keel bolts there as well. But now, when we're talking about the keels, I figured maybe I should try to explain a little bit of the keel solution here and how it differs from the traditional keel. Getting a little bit of a serious pro with this whiteboard I bought just for this application. So let's go through a little bit of the traditional keel and double keels, how they compare, the benefits and the drawbacks. Of course, when we have a boat with one keel, there is one keel. But with two keels, we have the keels something like that in there. That of course brings the first benefit. This kind of keel boat cannot be kind of lifted off the water or run down with tide so that it can stand on the ground. You need some kind of bracings there. But this of course can. So that's the main reason really why I wanted keels like this, because it makes it more easy to clean the bottom whenever you need to lift it up from the water. It's easier to handle and stuff like that. So that's the main reason. Second thing is that, of course, when you're doing keels like this, there is the ballast there, and they can be a little bit shorter, so there's a less draft. So my boat, this 50-foot boat, will have draft about 1.8 meter. So that's the goal here. The second one is more physics. I'm not a physicist or engineer, but I kind of understand how they work in general. So the single keel is foil shape like that. It's a symmetrical foil, and when the boat is going upwind through the water, the wind wants to push the boat that way. But when this is going forward in the water, the foil shape creates a lift to that way. So the shape of the foil is really essential to make sailboat work well. So we need the lifting force from the keel to go against the force that the wind wants to put the boat in certain direction. So that's an essential thing. But symmetrical foil, well, it's a little bit of compromise because it's not particularly efficient. Much better is to have asymmetric foil like that. So now when the boat is going that direction, there is a higher pressure in this side and lower pressure on that side, so it creates quite a bit more lift to that direction. So this kind of asymmetric foil is more efficient. But of course, this works only one direction, so if we want to have both tacks, we need actually two keels, and they are placed like that. So when the boat heels on that side, the wind comes from there and the lift goes over there. So yeah, they are put like this. It's not very accurate like this, but you get the point. And that brings to another benefit of having two keels, or benefit, or yeah, I think it's a benefit. When the boat is heeling, the single keels go sideways. So it's obvious that it doesn't do that efficiently when it's not straight down in the water. But when we have two keels like that, the lower keel should be quite straight to the water, and that makes it even more efficient when going upwind. There are pros, but there are of course cons as well, because it's always a compromise, right? So when having one keel, there's only one keel, and two keels, we kind of double the wetted surface of the keel. So the more wetted surface, more there is a resistance through the water, and yeah, it creates more drag because there's always the other keel there to kind of, well, creating drag, and it slows the boat down. Also, this kind of more efficient keel can be a little bit smaller, so that kind of brings it back a little bit, but there is still more wetted surface. And generally, they should point a little bit higher, but because they are a little bit smaller, they will create more of this leeway drifting, which is kind of the, when boat is going upwind like that, it really doesn't go upwind, but it goes like this. So this is called leeway. And even though the pointing angle is a little bit higher, so we can point a little bit higher into the wind, which comes from here. No, sorry, which comes from here, like that. Sorry. It points a little bit higher, but there's a little bit more leeway so that the boat can point a little bit higher into the wind, but it kind of drifts a little bit more. And that's just, these are always compromises. And when having a cruising boat like this, I don't think there is really not that much problems with the pointing ability anyway, because on the big oceans you generally don't want to go upwind that much. Here in Baltic Sea, that is kind of an important thing because routes are very narrow, and yeah, the seas are generally smaller, so we go quite a lot upwind here in the Nordics, but this boat is really not for the Nordics alone, so that's that. Well, I hope there is some information there, but that's kind of the idea behind the keels, and my 2 points were that it's can stand on its own and there's a little bit less draft. So those are the reasons, but yeah. As for these mast steps, again, on Thursday I'm gonna glue in these bolts, and I think I'm gonna at the same time do a second layer over here. And for that I need some kind of piece that goes over this steel part right here. And there is of course this 5mm threshold in here. I need to kind of take that into account some way. And I have now prepared the CNC again to make those pieces. And yeah, I'm gonna have a layer of plywood between there, and I'm gonna machine that threshold or that cavity, whatever you might call it, into these plywoods. And I actually haven't done a lot of jobs like that. Most pieces are just cut as a 2D drawing, but now I'm gonna have this cavity. Maybe you can see over there from the program, there's those pieces, and all this blue area right there is kind of recess in that plywood. I'm gonna cut away 6 or 7mm off from the plywood to create placement for that mast step steel part. So this will go over that everything and kind of make it flat again. So everything is ready. The plywood is attached there, and now we'll just cut it off. Yeah, let's now push start and see what happens. Here we go. And then the dust collection on as well. Sorry about the noise. See. Yep. That looks good. And while the CNC is doing its work, I can prepare these. So as you guys see, I have now sanded this surface here be ready to glue those pieces in here. So this end here will be, actually this is ready to go. This is surface that will remain like this, and the filler pieces will extend somewhere around here, I think. So all this will be exposed inside of the boat eventually. So it looks all right. And I have still one side over there to done and the front mast as well, but there is a lot less surface area there. But now I just grab my sander and sand this. And here we have the parts. They are now cut off from the plywood, and you can see the recess here. And this is, of course, because of, we're gonna put it right over there. But I should align this with this lower level of this beam right here on both sides and glue this in. There is of course 4 of them, second one over there, and then there's 2 more here in the front. Let's go and check out those as well. So there is this one. There is the front one. These are of course much smaller, but pretty much the same. There's still gonna be washer underneath, so these will come a little bit further out even, so yeah. But this was the thickest plywood I had, so it will do. I'll just make some kind of recesses for the rest of the wood here, what comes against here, so that's good. and what I did, and yesterday I prepared frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional frames. I'm gonna glue them tomorrow as well. And then these 2 frames over here, this one, which is kind of off the place right now, and this one, which is also off the place. I'm gonna glue those in as well tomorrow, but I will prepare them tomorrow after we got all the things done, because I want to have those bolts glued in first, kind of figure all that out, glue all those in, and then I turn my focus into these frames. The frames are pretty much straightforward. There's nothing really difficult in them. I now know how they should be done. So that's okay, but with those bolts there is some work to do. But I'm kind of thinking if there's anything else I could glue in tomorrow as well. Oh yeah, the frame 1 actually is. So the frame 1 is waiting over there. It's coming in here. I could actually glue that in as well. And after that, this is actually the last frame to glue in before the very last frame. This is gonna be the last frame as mentioned. I'm not gonna glue this in yet. So all the other frames except for this one should be glued in tomorrow. And it's pretty good because tomorrow will be the warmest day of the January. It's gonna be around 6 degrees almost even. So that's good. So I'm gonna take the benefit out of that. The diesel heater is full of fuel. I'm gonna tomorrow go and grab some more into this canister. Probably I won't be needing that because, well, tomorrow it's gonna be warmer. And yeah, that is quite expensive actually too. That canister, I think that's 20 liters. It costs 32 euros or something. So, and that is well, 1 full work day amount of fuel in that one canister. So yeah, not cheap to to warm up this place when it's really cold. But yeah, but tomorrow should be quite nice day to do this. Just wonder if there's anything else I could prepare right now. I don't know. Maybe I'll check figure out something else to do. But yeah, it's now Wednesday evening. Maybe I'll do something else here. But we'll get back tomorrow, and we'll glue these in and check out how that goes. So that's it. We'll see you tomorrow. Alrighty, it's now afternoon, the next day, and these are now in. There's those bolts are in. There's epoxy all over there, and these plywood pieces are in as well. So I think they'll look pretty good. It was quite a job to kind of squeeze the epoxy into that hole, but I think I got enough there. So there shouldn't be that much room anymore. But yeah, same thing in here. Those are in, bolts are in, and they look quite good. And those bolts are never gonna come out from there. Let's show you a little closer. Nothing really that special to see here, but yeah, kind of a milestone again. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. It's now 5 o'clock, yeah, 5:30 already. But I'm gonna continue the work today still. I am gonna take advantage of this warm weather outside. It's around 5 degrees outside, I believe. And I have my heater on, and it doesn't work any other way than this. If there is two pipes open there, it kind of, I don't know, there might be too much draft with two pipes, but this way it works. There's a little bit of smell, but not a big deal. This is very large air space here, so I think I'll manage. So now, as mentioned, I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'm gonna start putting in the frames. I have now prepared all of those, and it should be pretty straightforward job to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frames to go in. Last time I did those 3 frames back there, that took maybe an hour or something, so it should be all right. Going along. It was a long day. It's now 20 past 10 at the evening, and my job for today is done. So I got the bolts and those boards glued in on those mast steps, and then after a little bit of a break, I glued in all the rest of the frames except for this one. So that is absolutely amazing, of course. Feeling a little bit tired, but happy. These kind of days, they are a little bit overwhelming, but on the other hand, they are just kind of relaxing, because you can just decide that today I'm not gonna do anything else but this, and then just take the time, put some music on, or book or podcast or whatever, and then just do. And later in the evening, when the job is done, you just can feel it in your back and legs and all over your body that you have done something. So yeah, I think now this is a good phase to end this video. I'm not sure how long this was, but this was kind of a great milestone to celebrate a little bit. And in next video, I believe we are gonna start making the ballast keel timbers in there. They are now glued in, all these frames. That's good. I can start kind of laying them in there. So that is very nice. And then the stem as well. So those are kind of the next jobs. And after that, I think we're ready to start milling the rest of the material for these side beams, and that's gonna be exciting. Not sure yet how I'm gonna do that. We have all the material ready here, as you may remember, but we'll see about that. So, thank you so much for watching, of course, and please remember to subscribe the channel. I would really like to see this channel to grow, then I could use more time to make these videos. If you want to support the project even more, please go and check the Patreon. It's gonna change into monthly subscription in early February, so just to remind you. But there we have it. Thank you, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye bye.